Yeah. Get your cryptocurrency. Yeah. Straight to the moon. Bitcoin all the way out. All the way out. It's all the way out. It's all the way out. Straight to the moon. Bitcoin all the way out. Bitcoin's what you want, it's what you need. Your fiat's losing value each and every week. Mining for these coins, we ain't never sleep. You put your faith in banks, I put my faith in me. Get gold, get silver, get Bitcoin. It's all the way out. Bitcoin's what you want, it's what you need.
Alright, welcome back. So, everyone's super excited. Very exciting day. First of all, not financial advice. Consult your licensed financial advisor. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. Do not invest in anything you're not willing to lose or lose sleep over. Equities, bonds, currencies, everything. Very volatile, very risky. These are my opinions, my thoughts. Could be wrong, could be right. So I posted 2 videos in the newsroom, links below this video, talking about I guess how the collapse is going to play out, how I think it's going to play out. I also talked about my my remedy, my cocktail I drank. It was Tuesday. I fell ill. I got the coof, and I know I got the coof because I got it from a girl. We got our test results today. It was fine. For me, maybe I was nauseous. Had a headache. I didn't really hit a fever, but it got pretty high in the 90s. And I worked out the day before and the day after. So it was not, I've had worse colds. All right. But I talked about that in other videos in the newsroom that I uploaded, because I can't talk about those things I was talking about, you know, on here. Which, again, go find me on other platforms. If you don't, you know, when everything's gone, and it's going to be eventually, you know, people are going to forget channels. Like all the channels that are gone, those people are they're still around. They're just not on this platform. All right, so let's talk about the markets. Let's talk about the Bitcoins, and because everyone's like FOMOing, even in the news, even in the private group. Like, listen, in March I said you're into it when it was $3,000. You think it's gonna go back up? Probably a good time to start loading up. Whoever listened to me then isn't excited, and well, they're excited, but they're not FOMOing. It's right now they're nervous. Should I take profits? And that's how you should be feeling right now. If you did the right thing, should I be getting out? Should I be taking profits? I personally would have gotten out back down around 19,000. Now it's like at 22,800. Can it run higher? Yeah, I don't know. It's crypto. But when you're looking at just off of Bitcoin here, you're looking at a 530% move in what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in 10 months. The cycle has ran its course, right? Like, what do you want? Every $1,000 Bitcoin goes up, it's less than a 5% move to the upside. And the higher it goes price-wise, even less every $1,000 move up is a percentage gain. So once it gets to like 30,000, right? Every 1,000 move up is only like, I can't do the math in my head. I'm not that smart. It's like probably like a 1%, 2% move. Percentage gain. So the higher it goes, the harder it is for it to go higher. And then yeah, there's every argument, you know, if every millionaire bought one, I know. But listen, mainstream media is hardcore pumping it, and I like being a contrarian and, you know, taking the opposite end. By the way, I mean, the higher it goes, the happier I am. Let's just say there's this other crypto I know about. It still outperformed every crypto out there. Like over 500x move this year. And then it fell back down, it crashed. Like over a 90% drop. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I think cryptos are going to correct because the stock market's going to correct. Everything's going to correct. Because what do markets do? They hurt and they take away the money from the masses. From the markets hurt the most amount of people as humanly possible and rewards the fewest. So if everyone's FOMOing, you should be probably unloading your bags on their heads. And that's the game. The game is rigged for people who have money and for people who have patience and no emotions whatsoever. Listen, you have to be self-aware. You have to have emotional intelligence. If you are ever excited, you are probably on the wrong end of the trade, or you're about to get wrecked. The only emotions you should ever have is greed, and that's when everyone is depressed. That would be down here, right? Very simple. That would be here. Let me change the color. The blue, that'd be down here. That would be down here. When everyone's like, oh my god, it's over. That's when you're greedy. When everyone's up here, like, oh my god, this time it's different. Oh my god. Bull trap. Oh my god. That's when you're unloading. It's literally that simple. Look, it's just giant fractals of emotions. I couldn't draw it any better. Can it go a little higher and sucker in a few more people? Can it shoot up to 30,000 in literally 1 week? Yeah, why not? Just know, at any given time, the party could end. And when it does, what do markets do? Let me zoom in. Come on. This is a monthly chart, by the way. What do markets do? They take the elevator up. I mean, they take the stairs up, right? The stairs get steeper. And then what happens? They take the elevator down. Stairs up, elevator down. That simple. Because the breath, the volume, the momentum, it gets lost. And then there's no buyers once it starts dropping. There's only sellers. And then there's just giant air pockets, right, that need to be filled. This was a giant air pocket. Well, the initial drop, I remember this back then. This happened very quickly in 2 months. Washed a lot of people out. And then it just dicked around for 4 years. So you lost 4 years of your life. This was another reason why I just stopped for years talking about it. I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time with this. You're just going to get chopped around and lose all your money. 4 years, I didn't talk about it. In March, I did say, if you're into it, probably a good buying opportunity. In the private group, I bought. Some people bought with me. Doing great. But I didn't buy a lot of Bitcoin or ETH or anything. I did buy ETH though. But and that's been really shooting up. See how Ethereum did. Doing great. Told you guys right down here, because Bitcoin was moving before altcoins and ETH. I told you around this area, and even March, if you listen to me, at then the price was around $80. Right now it's 640. Would have done like a 7x just on that. And then the other one I was talking about, it moved prior to these moves currently and did like, you know, life-changing stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's now would be probably the time to maybe think about exiting. And because cryptos are so highly correlated to equities now because of the derivatives, nothing has changed. Just because the market went up today and yesterday, which is going up on stimulus hopes. Do you not think the stimulus hopes hasn't been priced into the market already for equities? Absolutely. Because every week for the past like months, oh, there's stimulus hopes they're gonna pass something, blah blah blah, and even if they do pass something, it's gonna be buy the rumor, sell the fact, in my opinion. Not just that. Here's another thing: the dollar. The higher the market goes, the further the dollar falls, because the market's only going higher on stimulus and QE, and Jerome and FOMC was yesterday, and they were very dovish. Are they really doing anything yet? Not really. Sending out $700 checks, a few more PPE loans. I don't think that's enough to stimulate the market. They're gonna have to do way more than that. So, listen. By the way, I'm wearing a beanie now. Turned into Tim Pool. I feel fine. I just, I want to keep my head warm. I do feel a little pressure still on my forehead. Here's the dollar. The DXY. Dixie. I mean, it's at the 90. The only way they're going to stop this, I mean, if it falls and makes a new low prior than the last, which was around 88 handle, then it could easily just real quickly drop to 83. And that is literally like the Fed losing its ammunition in its pistol or its toolbox, right? And they don't want to do that. They want to buy themselves more time so they could do endless stimulus in 2021 to keep the bubble inflated. Because after the correction, it's going to take even more stimulus to reinflate it, or just to keep it from falling all the way down to wherever it needs to go for the market to hit equilibrium or reality to where the real economy is, and to flush out all the malinvestment and debt and God knows. So I think they're timing the market correction with possibly Orange Guy staying in place, because he ain't backing down and there's more and more evidence coming out. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know. Anything could happen. The chances of him staying there is very low, but with the right amount of evidence, with the right amount of support, and 92% of conservatives believe it was stolen, and a lot of lefties do as well. Well, it's actually worse if he leaves, right, or gets dragged out, because then the status quo, the establishment, could easily lose power in 2021, as everyone says, the hell with this. So you have to keep that in mind. It's all about them staying in power and what the broader public and the masses really believe. Because believe it or not, the masses have the power. They have the manpower. Not just that. If the masses believe that this was all not right, I have to be careful with words I use, then who's going to enforce anything? And everyone's going to ignore the laws. So there's still a chance he's going to stay in power. We'll see. I don't know. I have no idea. But if he does, I do believe Wall Street's going to dump this market as hard as humanly possible. The elites, oh yeah. And then we're getting the Christmas star. You know, millionaires don't believe in the star stuff and all of the occult stuff and the stars aligning. But the billionaires do. Because it's a club. Most of us ain't in it, and we don't understand what they believe in. Alright, so I think they'll crash the markets. Not just that, that would actually give a nice bump to the dollar, and it would hurt most people. It would hurt like literally 99% of retail investors. It would hurt everyone's retirement. It would hurt most of Wall Street as well. And the smart money would profit immensely if they know that's coming. And, you know, the dollar would get a nice bump, which is perfect for the Fed to be able to print later in 2021 to reinflate the bubble. And the market would drop significantly, quickly. It would be ferocious. And so will Bitcoin and everything. And everyone's going to get hurt. Margin calls all over the board. The dollar gets a nice bump, a rebound. Probably won't get past the 98 handle though. So let's just take a look. Let's go back to the corn. There's a lot here. Alright, so here's a monthly on it. Listen, I don't want any trolls in the comment section. I didn't miss out. I've known about this since like 2010. You're talking to Shamu. Trolls. I've been around. I've been around, seen all this. Alright. Here's the weekly. Looks very red on the heat map. Just saying, on the weekly. Looks very parabolic. Go to the daily. Look at this. This is like a blow off top. By the way, if the price gets back down like anywhere around 20,000, this will be a shooting star. Reversal pattern candle. 4 hourly. Got a 9 sell on the 4 hour right now. I should upload this video real soon. Alright, let's take a look at the markets again. Nothing has changed. I still have my shorts on so far, but my short positions, they're getting hurt right now. I'm gonna double down, place more as this market goes higher. That's called conviction. And yeah, I mean, heat map's super red on the NASDAQ composite 3-day chart. Super red. Let's go to a weekly. On a 7 count, so 2 more weeks of possible upside. We get the 9 sell count on the NASDAQ composite. By the way, NASDAQ goes, so does the rest of the market, because all the money's in, what, the tech stocks, FANG stocks. The monthly, on an 8 count, so next month's a 9. So yeah, maybe this market may hold off another month. Maybe it'll correct early. Maybe it'll correct next week starting because the year's over and people want to take we're getting close to the end of the year. Today's the 17th. Maybe for tax purposes, right? Take a look at here's the S&P 500. I can see another candle just going straight up, and they'll give you a blow off top. And I don't know why the Fed would want that, because that happens. It's going to take way more stimulus and fiat and QE to reinflate this once this thing corrects, because it's going to be a sharp one. Probably like this. Not quite as bad, but it'll be a sharp one. There's huge air pockets. Here's the FANG index on the left here, NASDAQ composite on the right. Let's look at the FANG 3-day. 3-day doesn't look that bad. Take a look at the weekly. And the heat map's not red. Oscillators. We're moving to overbought. Take a look at the monthly on the FANG index. Alright, here's what's interesting. By the way, larger the time frame, the more weight it holds on what will happen. On a 6 count. Sucks. That means I could do another 7, 8, 9, 3 more months of upside. That would suck for me because I put on those shorts. And also that'd make things very difficult because gold and silver is going to rise with the equities, and then metals are going to get slammed later. And it's going to be hard to get in and get out. Well, not hard to get in, but it's hard to get out. Go to a daily. A 4 count. Maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. Another week of upside. Alright, let's take a look at other indexes, see what they say. Here's the Russell 2000 mid-cap companies in the US. This really should reflect the real economy in the US, but this is also pretty much juiced because of index funding, thanks to Ray Dalio. The weekly is on a 7. Monthly's on a 6. Okay. Apple. Look at a daily. Weekly. See, I like to have the monthly, weekly, and daily all come together, but they're not. Okay, let's look at all the indexes. The weekly on the Russell is actually on a 7 count. Look at the S&P 500. We'll look at the Dow Jones. So load. Alright. This is the daily. Oscillators. Not overbought, not oversold, neutral. 3-day chart. Had a 9 sell a week ago. They did sell off and then burst. Which, I don't know. That doesn't mean anything just yet, but the price did go back above it. Technically, that was it. That's going higher. Take a look at the weekly. On a 7 count weekly. What? 2 more weeks? Possible upside? According to the weekly. Oscillators overbought. And it's... Listen, I mean... Wait, let's go to the monthly and then I'll... Seven's on a... I mean, the monthly's on a 7 for the Dow. I mean, we literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 months of the market rebounding, making new all-time highs without any very major significant correction. This is a pullback. It's not a major correction. This was a major correction. This was also a major correction. Also, the higher the price goes, it takes more to be a correction. Because if you zoom out, since 2009, this is This is quite a move for the boomer generation. Really be able to buy McMansions and RVs. It's quite a move. Even though right now the economy is way worse than 2009. At some point, my blue line will be revisited. Don't know when, but someday. Could you imagine? I don't really want to hold stocks like at that point. I want to be, I don't know, on a farm in the middle of nowhere. So maybe once this month's over, we have maybe 2 more months, maybe a little bit longer. I hope not. I would rather have. One of the guys did bring this up in the private group. But look, I mean, it would make more sense if they let it correct now, not later, because it would be easier to reinflate this. And I do think everyone's sort of all in the markets. The FOMO, the greed is at all-time record highs. And honestly, personally, I want this to happen because metals will get smashed one more time and then we could really back up that truck. So let's see what happens in 2 weeks. I think we'll get a nice correction. We should. Things are really heating up in every other... By the way, there was another, like, cyber attack. This time it was on nuclear, like, weapons. So they're really pushing for, you know... I don't know what's going on with that, but let your imagination go wild. Weird. Let's see what happens in 2 weeks. It's gonna be painful. A lot of people are FOMOing. Be patient. To have cash on the sides. I have a lot of cash on the side, and I haven't bought the dip with leverage stocks on metals and gone. I haven't done that yet. I bought the royalty streamer, especially the new ones I was talking about that I put out in the private group. Alright, here's gold. I did do a thing. The next bull market in bull cycle or rally in 2021, I expect it to go to 3,000, if not a little bit higher. So with gold announced goes to 3,000, silver should get past 50 bucks. And what that means is the mining stocks will all, like, should do very, very, very unbelievably well, like 10x across the board. Because they're all priced right now at, like, I don't know, 1,400 an ounce gold. So, yeah, I mean, gold had a nice bounce here. This is a monthly chart. Let's go to a daily. But we're still within the channel. And if the market corrects in the next few weeks or month, something, then we get that nice drop, right? Down to like 1,700 by my major support would be the perfect buying opportunity. If it not, it might even go lower. I don't know. It depends how sharp and how bad the correction equities will be. I do worry that, you know, equities are going to get pumped for like 2 more months. And then maybe metals do go higher and it goes to like 2,000 and then it turns into a giant bull trap and then everyone's FOMOing and they don't want to miss out. That would be very difficult. Guess you could always put on a trade, put in some stops, but that'll make it difficult. If that happens. Basically this. And then it's a giant bull trap, and then it just gets slammed. And then it goes back up. Because what ends up happening is, you want to know why people never buy at the bottoms and the lows? I'm saying this in the private group. You know why nobody buys down here? For one, nobody believes it. For 2, nobody has patience. And 3, nobody has cash. Well, let's just do Bitcoin because it's an easier chart. Just giving you an example. You want to know why no one bought down here? Because they didn't have cash on hand. They didn't have any dry powder. You want to know why? Because they all bought here. And they didn't take profits. And now they ran out of money. So they didn't buy here. Then it took them some time to make more money at their slave wage job. And now they're buying again here. What's going to happen? So this is their average buy-in for your average normie retail investor person. When the FOMO starts, what's going to happen? It's going to correct again. Boom. They're again not going to have cash to buy here. And a lot of them will lose all their money because they'll panic around here. You guys, examples of how it works. They always buy here. When they can't handle their emotions and they feel like they're gonna miss out. I also see people like always joining the private group when gold and silver is starting to take off and the mining stocks are starting to take off and towards like, you know, the move's already done most of its gains. By the way, you know when you get rich, it's not when you buy here. When you buy down here, when nobody's paying attention, when nobody's interested, when everyone's bored, and people don't have patience to hold on for a year or 2. The people who have patience to hold on, they're the ones who make that life-changing money. I could do the same with gold. Here, let me go to a weekly for gold. When did I start accumulating my mining stocks? This time. I was a little late back in like, 2008, 2009, because I was young. But I was like still in college. Coolidge. Buying it with student loan money. I started in 2015 accumulating mining stocks. This is just the price of gold. I'm showing you mining stocks. I started accumulating here. I've been holding for like years. And they're all up since, right? And this is just the beginning, right? If this goes to 6,000 an ounce, those mining stocks are going to be like, 100 times, the shares will be 100 times more than they were back in 2015. Not even more. We're looking at 100x or more. And that's how the game is played. Those who have patience and control their emotions get rewarded. Everyone else becomes a statistic. I think I've pretty much made myself very clear. What am I doing? Alright. So yeah, I mean, this is the news. Stimulus deal in sight. We've seen this has happened nonstop. Also, the vax, I mean, that's going to help the market go higher because everyone thinks it's going to be returned to normal, which I highly doubt. And also, I want to see what happens on these important dates, right? The 6th of next month, and then the 20th. And everything in between, probably very volatile. Because there's still a chance, right? I'm just saying. Alright, I'm going to leave it at that. Smash some likes, share my channel so it grows and I continue to do this. Leave anything in the comments section. If you're rude, I'll ban you. Go to my website, join, and join the private group. Join all the links. Find me on other platforms like BitChute. And just in case, you never know, because if you look in your subscription feed, more than half the people are probably gone. Alright guys, until next time.